everyone, and welcome back to John and Mandy Go RVing. We're on our way down to Virginia Beach in Virginia. Then on our way back to our campground, we'll stop by historic Gloucester, Virginia for a quick visit. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here in Virginia Beach while we visit. We are here during the first week of spring, so it's a little cool and windy. Definitely not beach weather yet, but it won't be long now. Virginia Beach is a resort city with miles of beaches and hundreds of hotels and restaurants along its oceanfront. Every year, the city hosts the East Coast Surfing Championships, as well as the North American Sand Soccer Championship, which is a beach soccer tournament. It's also home to several state parks, several long-protected beach areas, and 3 military bases. Virginia Beach is situated in southeastern Virginia. It lies where the Chesapeake Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean. Also nearby is Cape Henry, which was the site of the first landing of the English colonists, who eventually settled in Jamestown on April 26, 1607. So, let's go check out some more of what Virginia Beach has to offer. The Cavalier Hotel, located on 4200 Atlantic Avenue, is a historic 7-story building designed with a Y-shaped floor plan. It was completed in 1927, with most of its hotel rooms facing the Atlantic Ocean. The hotel also featured dining facilities and opportunities for shopping, as well as amenities such as swimming pools that are now common features of modern hotels. Celebrities who stayed here include Bob Hope, Elizabeth Taylor, Judy Garland, Betty Davis, Doris Day, and Muhammad Ali. Presidents that have stayed here include President Truman, Jimmy Carter, Herbert Hoover, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Lyndon Johnson, and John F. Kennedy.
Located on the boardwalk are these bike paths. There are 2.6 miles of bike lanes. The paths go from Grommet Island Park and end at 40th Street. Along the boardwalk are several places for you to rent bikes for the day. The Virginia Surf and Rescue Museum is a National Historic Site that honors, celebrates, and preserves Virginia coastal history. The building was a U.S. Coast Guard station, but when it was acquired by the city of Virginia Beach, it had to be moved about 100 feet south to occupy land owned by the city. It opened to the public as a museum on July 1, 1981. A unique experience you can have at Virginia Beach is a guided horseback ride. You can opt for a 30-minute or a 1-hour tour along the oceanfront. No experience is required. You will receive a short lesson and be guided by professionals. On Good Friday in 1891, a Norwegian ship called the Dictator wrecked off of the coast of Virginia Beach. 9 of the 17 crew members died. The figurehead of the ship, known as the Norwegian Lady, was mounted as a tribute. It remained in place for almost 60 years when it was destroyed by a hurricane. In 1962, 2 statues of the Norwegian Lady were erected, one in Virginia Beach and one in Moss, Norway, where the Dictator originated.
The Naval Aviation Monument honors Virginia Beach's extensive aviation heritage. Commissioned by the Hampton Roads Squadron of the Association of Naval Aviation, the monument showcases 3 eras of naval aviation. The scene depicts modern-era aviation with 2 pilots and a maintenance chief gathered around an unloaded bomb skid, and the scene next to it is a pilot greeting his family, reflecting the joy of a military homecoming. This is a statue of Eugene Ely, the first aviator to fly off and land on a ship's deck. This scene shows a World War II pilot and his crew scramble out of a flight deck hatch. This monument was designed by sculptor Michael Maiden, who relied on his experience in the Army National Guard combined with 2 years of research to get every detail right. This monument can be found on 25th Street at the oceanfront along the Boardwalk. This large bronze statue of King Neptune, Roman god of the seas, known as Poseidon in Greek mythology, was sculpted by Paul de Pascal and is located at the entrance of Neptune Park on the Boardwalk near Laskin Road. The statue was dedicated on September 30th, 2005 during the Neptune Festival Boardwalk weekend. The Neptune Festival is an annual festival that celebrates the heritage of the city, which started back in 1974 and has continued on ever since. The Boardwalk weekend includes the North American Sand Sculpting Championship, arts and crafts, food, and live music. It also includes a 5K and an 8K race, a surfing contest, a volleyball tournament, and a parade. The event is free and open to the public, except there is a tent-covered viewing fee of the sand sculptures.
There's always something to do here. No matter your interest, Virginia Beach has something to offer. The 3-mile-long boardwalk features many sidewalk entertainers, an amusement park, aquarium, nightly concerts during the summer, a fishing pier, and a variety of restaurants, bars, and souvenir shops. The art scene is alive and well in Virginia Beach. You could spend an entire day just wandering around the oceanfront and discovering the many statues, sculptures, and beautiful oversized murals on many of the buildings. There's a section of Virginia Beach known as the Vibe Creative District, designated in 2015. The district is the center for art and creativity here. It features the work of many different artisans, including painters, sculptors, and even carpenters and leatherworkers. There's a ton of quaint coffee houses, cafes, and shops. Its most vibrant feature is the large murals local artisans have painted for all to see and enjoy. The Vibe District is located just streets away from the waterfront and features weekly activities during the summer, including flea markets and exhibitions. One activity John and I love is mini golf. While we were here, we passed many. Unfortunately, our day trip here didn't allow time for us to play. We'll be back soon, though. I hear there's even a backlit 3D one. JT's Grommet Island Beach and Playground is the first beach playground designed for adults and children, with all levels of physical capabilities. It was inspired by Josh Thompson, who was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease in 2006. He was unable to access the beach in his wheelchair. The park was designed so that everyone could access the beach and enjoy it. It opened in 2010. While there, we were surprised to see a bald eagle just watching the waves.
This is Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Its 3.5 miles is comprised of bridges, man-made islands, trestles, and tunnels that go under the main shipping channels for Hampton Roads Harbor. We are heading back to the camp resort we are staying at, and we figured we would make a quick detour to check out the Gloucester County Courthouse Square Historic District. The district encompasses 17 contributing buildings, including the Gloucester County government buildings and those structures bordering the square, which are housing private businesses, offices, and residences. This historic district can be found in the town of Botetourt, Virginia. This first small building is the Debtors' Prison. This building was constructed around 1810 over a portion of a much earlier structure. This annex of the courthouse was added in 1954 and is currently used as the Gloucester's Visitor Center and Gloucester Tourism Office. The Colonial Courthouse was built in 1766 and is one of the oldest courthouses in the country still in use. While court is no longer held here, it's still used by the county government and the community for meetings. The building you see before you was built in 1823 on the foundation of a 1770 clerk of the court's office. This is known as the Clayton Building. The earlier building burned in 1820, and with it, all of Gloucester's records were destroyed. The Rome Building is another clerk of the court's office that was built to comply with the state's rigid fire codes in 1896. In 1870, the Board of Supervisors decided to build a new jail after the earlier prison on the same site was burned by federal troops during the war between the states. The building was completed in 1873 and consisted of 4 rooms, each 16 by 16 feet in size. This Confederate monument was erected in 1889 to commemorate soldiers from Gloucester who had died for the Confederate cause. With the controversy surrounding Confederate monuments, I would not be surprised if this was removed down the road. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and if you found any of this information useful, please give us a like and feel free to subscribe. Take care everyone.